amazing. On the back of that card, all of the covers, and he did all of those covers, and that's in the back. He did all of those covers, and he is amazing and reasonably priced and good. So it has been really, this has opened a lot of doors. It's also made me an advocate for girls who are victims of trafficking. I actually spoke at a church a couple weeks ago, speaking at a church on trafficking. We're trying to get to the churches. I mean, the ministers can wake up our parents. I tell people, if you have the internet in your home, the predator is in your child's bedroom. Because we don't know what our kids are doing on Facebook. You know, we don't, especially Instagram and everything else. These guys are combing those sites for children. And they're posing to be somebody that they aren't. And that award has just opened so many doors for me. And then also too, I just think it's hopefully I'm close to my time. A couple days ago, I know my books are in audio. And if anybody who's read the audio book, the actor who read this book is amazing. He is so good. As a matter of fact, he read all my books.
All of them,
same one.
Okay.
And so when he finished reading my first book, he sent me a, would you do audio creation exchange is what I use. You post what you're looking for. I said, I want an ethnic, maybe an urban character. I want an urban e-reader with, I want it sounding energetic, excited, whatever. Right. And people submit that they will do it. And you choose. Anywhere from, you can pay $100 an hour, $340 an hour per finished book. This book was like 10 hours in audio. So I paid him $300 an hour for each book. But when he finished, one of the other books he read for me, he texted me and he said, I want to thank you for trusting me with your African American and your female character. Like, you made a brother? He's like, nah, I'm like the whitest white guy you ever met. And then my husband, I said, listen to this. He ain't black. He a white guy. Yeah, you heard it? I know. And so, I know he sounds just like, Dre. My husband said, well, he grew up around brothers. So I said, my husband said, you grew up around brothers. So how do you do that? He said, well, when I was a kid, I shouldn't have been doing it, but I was listening to Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy, and I like to mimic their voices. And he apparently got pretty good at it. So he does a good Drake, does a good Jeffrey, all these characters, and good female characters. Yes. So I've been with him ever since. But a couple days ago, Audible, I'm a member of Audible.com. I listen to most of my books on audio because I'm here. I don't have time to read. I fall asleep or I got to write my own books. And they had a list of 150 top-rated books. And I'm reading the books, and it's like Laura Roberts, Michael Connelly, and I'm like, my first book, Every Reasonable Doubt, is on the list. I'm the one that, and you can't pay for that. Audible has to go, and it's based on their ratings. And I'm reading further, and so is Empire Pursuit. And I mean, it's just, I feel like my time is coming. Yeah. Now, last month, on audiobook sales, I don't have a lot of audiobook sales. I sold, 50 copies in audio of Every Reasonable Doubt. I checked today on the way here. I've sold 2,500 copies of Every Reasonable Doubt just as a result of that book. And that's only going to get because I hope they'll read it, they'll like it, they'll buy other things. So it's just a process, and I tell people that if you have a passion, just stay with it. I mean, because my first book was published in 2006. Here it is, 8 years later, Oprah still ain't calling. But I'm here, I'm doing my own thing, I'm happy with it. I think financially it's finally coming together. And people say, well, when is it going to be a movie? I'm like, actually, when I just saw Gone Girl and realized that the author wrote the script, so I'm working on a screenplay myself. I've had a few bites, people said I want to pitch it, blah, blah, blah. But, typically when a book does really well, it's going to get that notice. Yeah. So there's still more life to this book, and I'm still out there hawking it every day. But I'm more than that, I'm trying to bring the attention to the public about this sex trafficking. Because it is a widespread thing. When I spoke recently at the church, I had the advocate who was there brought 3 girls who had been involved in trafficking. And they all were trying to escape abusive situations. One was molested by a mama boyfriend, mama ain't trying to do nothing about it. Just bad situations. So, you know, they're at the mall looking sad. And that's where the predators are, you know. What you do? You want to do somebody, girl, let me get some McDonald's and do something to eat. Well, you know what? I'm going to buy, get your hair nails. Don't tell nobody, because I'm 35 and I should be talking to you because you're 14 anyway. And over a matter of time, well, I'm your boyfriend, don't tell nobody. But then you know what? You don't like it there, come live with me. You've been with me for 3 months, well, why don't you sleep with my friend? Because, you know, you haven't done this with me. And just saying, and your friends at school, they're giving it away anyway, so why don't you just do it with me? And in many cases, this is the first time this girl has gotten real love. Because I love you. You do it, I don't want you to me because I love you. And so, and it sort of bothers me when people want to see these girls out there and castigate them. These are sexually exploited children. They are not prostitutes. They are sexually exploited children. And it's a whole mindset, a whole game. And these young girls are out there turning 20 tricks a day from grown-ass men who should be in jail. The focus, and part of my research for this book was sitting in the juvenile court in Watts and watching these children appear before the judge. And I'm thinking, it's statutory rape. They're 13. They can't, I'm a lawyer, they can't legally consent to have sex with a grown man. Why isn't it statutory rape?
Right.
It's, they're black and brown. Nobody's cared about it. But it's like it's a whole, there's been a lot more attention to it. And I think the change is coming, but in my opinion, the change is not going to come until we start focusing on these customers. These girls said my clients were lawyers and doctors and police officers and judges. Okay? So if the demand is this big, the demand is coming from somewhere. So let's look at the demand. Let's have cameras all up and down Figueroa in LA and flash a picture of everybody who's on it. So we have to, and these girls are having multiple abortions, STDs, it's just, and the fact that the 3 girls that I was speaking with are still standing and are so resilient after all they've been through is amazing. So as women, as young black women, we do have something special. Because I'm looking at and beautiful girls, well-spoken, but for a situation in their house that because no kid is waking up and saying, I want to do this. You don't understand how broken these kids are. So I tell parents, the most important thing you can give your children, especially your young girls in this society, is self-esteem. So when that dude walks up there and says, baby, you pretty, she said, I already know my daddy tells me every day. You know, step on it. And then, but there's also the comment, I'm about sex but I got one more thing. Part of the other problem is, you cannot watch 5 minutes of TV and not see anything sexual. I don't care if it's a cartoon. I'm watching a Carl's Jr. burger and she's biting the hamburger and the ketchup dropping down her breast. They're half dressed. People want to talk about bullying. Every reality show they fight, they call each other names. So why wouldn't it? You know, so it's a byproduct of our society. So I grew up in the Ricky and Lucy McCall, we sleep babies, she was the same bed. We moved to the Grady, but they was in the same bed, but they never did nothing. And they went to sleep. But you can't watch any show where they're not just doing it. So why wouldn't our kids think it's okay? So we have a lot to fix. We have a lot to fix. What time is it? 1:30. Okay. I would love to take some questions. Let me tell you, and I think for those people who are, let me do a quick excerpt. How many people have not read the book?
I haven't.
Oh, good. I can sell some books right now. Okay. Okay, I'm going to pick it up in the first chapter where Brianna she met this guy on Facebook, and they've been texting back and forth, unbeknownst to her mother. And she's going to sneak off before school to meet him. Okay, she's in her bedroom and she's waiting for the text from him. A quiet chime signaled the message Brianna had been waiting for. A ripple of excitement shot through her. Jaden, hey B, almost there, can't wait to see you. Brianna, me too. Jaden, can't wait to kiss them lips. Brianna, LOL, exclamation mark. Jaden, love you girl. Brianna, love you too. Brianna tossed the phone into the bed and covered her mouth with both hands. OMG. She was finally going to meet the love of her life. Jaden's older brother, Clint, was taking them to the Starbucks off Wilmington. Her mother kept such tight reins on her, this was the only time she could get away. Jaden had promised her that Clint would make sure she got back to school on time. Turning around to the mirror on the back of the door, Brianna untied her bushy ponytail and let her hair fall across her shoulders. A The yellow and purple Lakers tank top her Uncle Dre had given her fit snugly across her chest, but wasn't slutty looking. Jaden was a Kobe Bryant fan, just like she was. He would be impressed when she showed up sporting number 4. Slinging her backpack over her shoulder, Brianna trudged down the hallway toward the kitchen. Hey Mama, I have to be at school early for a math club meeting. Donna Walker turned away from the stove. I'm making pancakes, you don't have time for breakfast. Brianna felt a stab of guilt. Her mother was trying harder than ever to be a model parent. Brianna had spent much of the last year living with her grandmother after her mother's last breakdown. Sorry, she grabbed a cinnamon raisin bagel from the bread box on the counter. Gotta go. Donna wiped her hand on a dish towel. It's too early for you to be walking by yourself. I can drop you off. Brianna kept her face neutral. No need, Sydney, we're walking together. I'm walking with Sydney. Brianna saw the hesitation in her mother's overprotective eyes. Taller and darker than her daughter, Donna wore her hair in short, natural curls. Her lips came together like 2 plump pillows, and her eyes were a permanently sad shade of brown. Donna had spent several years as a social worker, but now worked as an administrative assistant at St. Francis Hospital. Work, church, and Brianna. That was her mother's entire life. No man, no girlfriends, no fun. Brianna wasn't having any of that. She was gonna have a life, no matter how hard her mother tried to keep her on a short leash like a prized pet. Donna finally walked over and gave her daughter a peck on the cheek, then repeated the words she said every single morning. You be careful. Brianna bolted through the front door and hurried down the street. As expected, no one was out yet. Her legs grew shaky as she scurried past Sydney's house. Brianna had wanted to tell her BFF about hooking up with Jake today, but he made her promise not to. Anyway, Sydney had the biggest mouth in the whole 7th grade. Brianna couldn't afford to have her business in the street. She'd made Sydney swear on a Bible before even telling her she'd been talking to Janie on Facebook. As she neared the end of the block, she saw it. The burgundy Escalade with the tinted windows was parked behind Mario's Fish Market, just like Jaden said it would be. Brianna was so excited, her hands began to tremble. She was only a few feet away from the SUV when the driver's door opened and a man climbed out. Hey Brianna, I'm Clint, Jaden's brother. He's in the back seat. Brianna unconsciously took a step back. Jaden's brother didn't look anything like him. On his Facebook picture, Jaden had dark eyes, a narrow nose, and could have passed for T.I.'s twin brother. This man was dark-skinned with a flat nose and crooked teeth, and there was no way he was 19. He had to be even older than her Uncle Dre, who was 30-something. Brianna bit her lip. An uneasy feeling tingled in her gut, causing her senses to seesaw between fear and excitement. But it was her love for Jaden, that won out. It didn't matter what his brother looked like. They probably had different daddies. As Clint opened the back door, Brianna handed him her backpack and stooped to peer inside the SUV. At the same horrifying moment that Brianna realized that the man inside was not Jaden, Clint snatched her legs out from under her and shoved her inside the Escalade. The man in the back seat grabbed a handful of her hair and jerked her toward her. Brianna tumbled face first into his lap, inhaling sweat and weed and piss. Ow, get your hands off of me, Brianna shrieked, her arms and legs thrashing about like a drowning swimmer. Where's Jaden? Let me go. Relax, baby. The man's voice sounded old and husky. Just calm down. Get off of me, let me go. Brianna tried to pull away, but the stinky man palmed the back of her head like a basketball, easily holding her in place. Clint, who was now in the front seat, reached down and snatched her arms behind her back and bound them with rope. When Brianna heard the quiet revving of the engine and the door locks click into place, panic exploded from her ears. She violently kicked her feet, hoping to break the window, but each kick landed with a sharp thud that launched needles of pain back up her legs. Let me go! The stinky man thrust a callous hand down the back of Brianna's pants as she fought to squirm free. Dang, girl, he cackled, the brothers are gonna love you. Cut it out, Leon, Clint shouted, turning away to grab something from the front seat. I told you before, don't mess with the merchandise. Don't touch me, Brianna cried. Get away from me. She managed to twist around so that her face was no longer buried in the stinky man's lap. That was when she saw Clint coming toward her. He covered her mouth with a cloth that smelled like one of the chemicals for her science class. Brianna coughed violently as a warm sensation filled her body. In seconds, her eyelids felt like 2 heavy windows being forced shut. She tried to scream, but the ringing in her ears drowned out all sound. When she blinked up at the stinky man, he had 3 heads. Brianna could feel the motion of the SUV pulling away from Mario's Fish Market. She needed to do something, but her body was growing heavy and her head ached. The thick haze that cluttered her mind allowed only one desperate thought to seep through. Mommy, Uncle Dre. It is a reality.